Hello, good evening, and welcome back. Good news for Parler is it's topped the charts. Congratulations to Parler. Feel free to go and use it. You will need to add your phone number for verification, which has stopped some people from using it. As we go into this article, I will be correcting part of what they say in order to be more informative and accurate with the speech. So with that in mind, let's dig in with the headline. Parler free speech app tops charts in wake of Trump's legal investigation into accusations of voter fraud from the Democratic Party. I see why they didn't go that title. It's not quite so snappy. So, a Twitter alternative, Parler, has become the most downloaded app in the United States as conservatives, libertarians, open-minded people flock to the self-styled free speech app after the US election. It follows a censorship of the spread of election information by Twitter and Facebook in recent days, as well as YouTube. I could just read the whole article like this, it'd be great. Owner Dan Bogino says the service was adding thousands to users per minute on Sunday. A jolly good job for you. But the sudden boom also caused technical issues for users because they had a bit of a problem with the influx. They just seemed a bit too popular. So when you always get tired of winning, it's like, yeah, so we're having a bit of a strain on our servers now. Are you going to have to bear with us? And he said, don't worry, the app isn't normally this slow. We're proving to be a bit too popular. So thank you to Twitter for fucking yourself over. It's doing very well for us, so cheers for that. So yeah, Trump himself is not a user, but his son is, as Eric Trump, is a user, as well as your popular creators like Sargon of Akkad, for example. They're both users, as well as Ted Cruz himself, and then the Fox News individuals, as we see here, like Mark Levin, Sean Hannity, and also Devin Nunes and Dinesh D'Souza. And Ted Cruz himself has 2.6 million followers, and Fox News host Mark Levin and Sean Hannity each have more than 2 million. Newsmax, a conservative leading news outlet, also crept near the top of the charts at the same time. Yes, so almost as if you don't censor speech, and you allow more information, so you allow people to make up their own mind, when they're confronted with all of the facts, and they can look through things themselves, they tend to creep right wing. So, as if to say, if you don't have a control on the information, but allow people to make their own decisions by being fully informed, they become right wing. This kind of gives credence to the thought that the right wing is the better way to do things. If the only way to stop people becoming right wing is to censor information, and if you don't censor information, then people do creep right wing. Wow, isn't that nice? I will take that as a feather in my cap to say I was right, because that seems to be what they're suggesting here. So launched in 2018, Parler has proved particularly popular among free-minded individuals. Such groups have frequently accused Twitter and Facebook of unfairly censoring their views. Yeah, true. I mean, with quite a bit of evidence, including New York Post article, was it? From, New York Post article. We'll get to that in a minute. So they go on to say, it's one of a handful of startup social networks, such as MeWe, or Gab, or BitChute, or BitSlide, of course, if you wish to use the phone app instead. Follow me over on BitChute if you want. Trying to appeal to disgruntled users of the biggest platforms. Trump has been among Twitter's most vocal critics, and has seen many of his tweets hidden and labelled as misleading during the election period, and afterwards, and before, in fact. Did he really do anything to stop this? No, he didn't. Did he complain about it? Yes. Did he take any legal action? No. Should he have done, given the 230 protections? Yes, he should have done. Would it have helped him now? Yes, it definitely would have done. Why did he not? Surely he would at least listen to his son saying, hey, Dad, maybe you want to consider joining Parler? Or doing something about these, because it's really going to fuck you over when it comes to the election. And yet he did not. So, I know we don't like victim blaming, but at some point you've got to think, if you're in a bad position, what did you do to make you in that position? How did you help it along to put you in a bad position? What could you do differently next time to avoid it from happening again? Not saying it's all your responsibility, but you definitely helped it along in some way. How was it? So named after the French verb to speak, and also from the pirate code, parler, as in being granted clemency, or at least mercy when being captured. The app has very similar functions to Twitter, as we all know. Very good. So, Parler does, however, ban some things, basically anything that is illegal, so not covered under the First Amendment. So, and as well as pornography. So then we've got threats of violence and support for terrorism, which is, again, threats of violence. So it's a right-wing safe space. Oh, and when it comes down to support for terrorism, that is something that Twitter does not do, which is why you've got ISIS recruitment videos on Twitter. So there's a difference there. So yeah, Twitter will stop you from having questions about the election, but it will allow you to recruit for ISIS. So weird priorities they've got, but that's what they've decided on. Following Joe Biden's projected win in the presidential election, yep, good, well done. Projected win. He hasn't won yet. Trump is still president. Biden is not yet president. And Mr. Trump's substantiated claims of fraud, including, of course, Rudy Giuliani, the lawyer of America, isn't that what they're calling him? Having at least 70 witnesses now putting their name forward, coming forward about questions in Pennsylvania, which would write off hundreds of thousands of votes, which would then mean Trump would get Pennsylvania. Then if you just got to go into Nevada or Arizona or Georgia or Michigan, of course, where they had their 47 councils using the Dominion software to count the votes, and they already found in one of them that they had, I think, 4,000 votes the wrong way around. So if they all had the same margin of error, then that would flip it and Trump would win. So it's substantiated. And then, of course, you've got Project Veritas with people putting their names forward who could be lying, but they are witnesses who are willing to suffer the consequences if they are found out to be lying, which is peculiar. And Project Veritas has now offered a $25,000 reward for people who can help expose the fraud, if there is any. So, yeah, very much substantiated claims. Many conservatives encouraged each other to leave Twitter and Facebook for Parler. Yes, so on Facebook, multiple events and groups with thousands of members are encouraging a mass exit from Facebook to Parler from Friday 13th of November. What a day. The planned exodus has been mocked by left-leaning Twitter users as an escape to a safe space, devoid of challenge or criticism. They have no idea. No idea. Do they not understand that they can join Parler as well? And quite a few of them already have. You can join Parler as well if you want. But bear in mind, your opponents won't be censored. So if you're up for a challenge, come on board. If not, that's fine. You enjoy a safe space. But it sounds a lot like a projection otherwise. The light touch approach to content moderation means that misinformation can spread more easily on the platform than on those with stricter rules. Yep. That's true. That's true. Because they're not censoring the leftists. They're not censoring communists, so misinformation can spread. That's very true. And then it's down to individuals to decide for themselves. Marketplace of ideas, if you will. And the people, at least at the moment, seeing as there's a bit of an intellectual dark web or a bit of a revolution, if you will, they're much more reasonable people and willing to be challenged. Similar to what caused the United States of America to be set up as well. That the people who have become popular come from pretty ordinary beginnings and realise that they're fallible humans as well, and therefore welcome the challenge in order to readjust their views and understand what it is that's going on. So they're open to criticism, education and learning. And that is why you can see their stances change over time, because they're learning. And for those people, I would say people like Matt Christiansen, Sargon of Akkad, Tim Pool, Stephen Crowder, these types of people have changed a bit over time because they're more than happy to debate and learn more and study and read. So, the first mass migration of right-wing users... First mass migration of users from major social networks to Parler happened in June after a number of accounts that posted content about COVID-19 and George Floyd protests got banned from the bigger social media sites. Yes, in fact, by posting things which were not what the World Health Organization said, and then they got banned because it was against World Health Organization, and then latterly, by posting what the World Health Organization had said before, they got banned because it was not what the World Health Organization was saying at the moment, and some of them were retroactive. So if you didn't delete your previous posts because the World Health Organization had flipped and changed their mind, then you'd be banned. And also George Floyd protests. Yeah, riots. That's why they got banned. Like, I really do hope you've seen Michelle Obama making that stupid speech with behind her just rioters and looters burning the place down. She's trying to say they're mostly peaceful. Yes, definitely. Oh dear. So thousands of supporters of the QAnon conspiracy theory have joined in the last few weeks after Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube took sweeping action against them in early October. Followers believe President Trump is waging a secret war against a deep state elite of Satan-worshipping pedophiles. Look into Alex Jones if you want to go down that rabbit hole, by all means. But the whole thing about paedophilia, it seems to actually be true, doesn't it? Especially with what's come out with Jeffrey Epstein, and this has been known for a couple of decades now. So that's a bit concerning. We can't prove the Satan worshipping. At that point, you'll just be talking about I can't remember the name of the owl, but the owl they worship, Bohemian Grove. That's about it. Unless you want to go down Alex Jones's conspiracy theories, which could be true. Facebook's ban on organizations that promote violence has also forced groups which have not promoted violence, such as the Proud Boys and Boogaloo Boys, to rebuild on Parler. Yeah, the Proud Boys. With a gay Hispanic white supremacist, apparently, as a leader. It's like, he's not a very good white supremacist, is he? Oh dear. And promoting violence, not at all. It's just saying, if you get hit, you don't have to cower until you're beaten to death. You're allowed to defend yourself. That's not really promoting violence. But well done, BBC. Anyway, platforms like Parler have become an echo chamber. I should really read this ahead of time. However, platforms like Parler have become encouraging of people to spread their views for a relatively limited group of like-minded users. That's why many users who have migrated to Parler make repeated attempts to create new accounts to return to major networks, as they know that's where their content can get widespread traction for now. But the legacy media is definitely losing its grip, which is why they have to attack Parler. Case in point. While the content posted on Parler is usually not as extreme as other self-proclaimed free speech platforms like Gab and WeWe, it is the home of many posts that would either be flagged as misleading or removed by major platforms on topics like the election, COVID-19, child trafficking, and vaccines. Yes, which is exactly why they are going there. However, you just make me want to use it even more. This is the last bit and then we'll wrap up. Senator Cruz, who recently lambasted Twitter boss Jack Dorsey at a congressional committee hearing, said in June that he had joined Parler because social networks use their power to silence conservatives and promote their radical left-wing agenda. Yes, at which point Jack Dorsey perjuried himself, which is an imprisonable offence. As Ted Cruz tweeted at the time, using Twitter, what Jack Dorsey told the Senate, under oath, is false. I just tried to tweet the New York Post story alleging Biden's CCP corruption, still blocked. And under 18 U.S.C. 1621 makes it a felony to lie under oath to the Senate. So it is an imprisonable offence. I think that's probably what they mean when you say lambasted. Yeah, it's saying that Jack Dorsey should go to prison if the law is upheld. That's what it says. Not such a good look. Maybe Jack Dorsey should go back to the cave of whence he clearly came out of. So that's it. I just thought it'd be entertaining to go through to read the article as it should have been written in the first place. Just try and tidy up and help out the BBC here and hopefully provide some entertainment for you as well, and also why we should really defund the BBC, and I hope none of you are paying a license fee. I hope you definitely don't have a television either, because that would be illegal, so you shouldn't have a television as long as you're not paying the license fee. So, as always, thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below what you guys think. Do you think that their concerns of Parler are because they are concerned that Parler was actually bad, or they're just too concerned that they're losing their grip on the control of information, and it's their death throes where they're trying to say, no, Parler is bad, don't use it, it's going to be awful, because they're aware that they're losing, and at this point they're just going to throw shit against the wall and see what sticks. As always, I'm always intrigued to hear what you guys have to say down below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all the good stuff really does help the channel out. And as always, until next time, have a good one.